Hello and welcome to ADS Python tutorials. This is tutorial 7 in which we will talk about how to work with PDKs and then use those components to perform DCIV characteristics. Here's the agenda for our current tutorial and we will go over each topic one by one. It is going to be a very interesting topic because so far we have been only looking at performing S-parameter simulation using the built-in library component. In this tutorial, you will learn how to use a vendor library component or a PDK and then proceed with your design, and also how to set up and run DC simulation, which is having a nested sweep to plot the IV characteristics data. So stay till the end and enjoy all the content. The script which I'm going to use in this video is available for your download using the link provided in the description box. So let's get started. But before that, keep exploring more videos in the playlist to further deepen your understanding. So let's get started and take a look at the test case we have here. Now, before I go on to Python code and explain how things can be done with Python, let's look at a traditional way of how you would add a typical PDK and then proceed with your design. And then we will look at how all that can be done using Python. So here, if you want to create a new workspace with the provided name and at the location, to start with, you can change the library and you can add your favorite library or a PDK in the list, and you can simply select that to be added to your workspace. In my demonstration, I'm going to use a demo kit nonlinear, which is a sample MMIC design kit, which is shipped along with ADS and is always available once you install ADS. Now, if you notice, the demo kit nonlinear is browsing to a file called lib.defs, and that file basically has these two libraries. So one of them is the linear. That's where you have all your component palettes and etc. And then you have a technology file which contains the layout layers and all the technology related information. So this is how a typical MMIC PDK is provided. Now, very similar format you will also get for your vendor library component, such as Murata, Monolithics, and so on. So using this process, you can even add some of those libraries. Now, once I go ahead and add that library, and since I have this option set up, as soon as my workspace is created, I can also get an opportunity to select the layout technology. And once I finish, my workspace is all set. If I look in the library view, you can see those libraries have been added as a read-only library. And if I open a schematic or a layout, you see the relevant component palette available for your use. And now you can start placing the components onto schematic from the PDK and set up the simulation to run your circuit analysis. Similarly, you can also start a new layout design, and once you do so, you can see all the layers which is defined in the technology file and all the parts which are available as a footprint, and you can also place those components in the layout to do the layout of your circuit that you may be designing. Alright, so that's what will happen if you are using a GUI mode. Now, same thing we will try to achieve using our Python script. So here I do have certain variable sets. So let me first copy paste these regular variables which you have been seeing if you are following my Python tutorials here. So in the first case, I am importing few Python modules and some Keysight ADS modules here, and then I go ahead and provide the variables, things like the workspace name, the library I would like to create, the path where I want that workspace to be created, the cell name, and so on. Also, since I'm going to demonstrate a demo kit that is available under ADS installation directory, so I've created a new variable here which is pointing to the ADS install directory. If you already have an environment variable defined, which is hpeesof_dir, then you can avoid this and you can directly use your environment variable. But in my case, I haven't declared that variable, so I'm defining the installation path of the ADS release. Now the next thing I would like to do is to define the PDK path and join couple of paths to create the complete string. Like in this case, I'm creating a workspace path which is going to be created under the specified folder and with the workspace name, similarly library path. Now here is your PDK location, which is inside this hpesof _dir or ADS installation directory. Similarly, you can provide a path to your own PDK using whichever foundry which you might be using, and so on. And here again, I simply construct a PDK path and PDK technology path, these two variables. Now once I have those variables, remaining job is pretty easy. Now while I create the workspace, on top of creating my own work library, as you can see here, I am adding my own workspace library, and after that I also add library for demo kit nonlinear, and I also add library for nonlinear technology. Again, this method which I'm explaining is valid with ADS 2025 update 2. If you are using any newer version than this, then you can refer to documentation to figure out how this library can be added, and there might be an even simpler API available. But here also it's not too difficult, just a couple of lines. So once I add the library, I open that demo kit nonlinear library in a read-only mode, and that allows you access to all the components which you have inside that library. And after that, I set up my schematic technology, and I also set up my layout technology from PDK using the open PDK-lib, which is nothing but demo kit nonlinear. And again, you have a choice. You can copy the technology to your local library, or you can leave it at the PDK place. So this is again user's choice to decide what they want to do. And after this function is run, I will return the library so that I can continue with my schematic creation and so on. So as you can see, once I execute this function, I have the workspace created. And if I go to library view, pretty much how you saw when I did things using GUI, I have these library created. And then if I open layout from my library, you can see the PDK's component palette. If I go to layer tab, you can see all the PDK layer. Now your workspace, your layout, your technology, everything is properly set. Another way to check to make sure that your library where you are going to design your stuff is referring to the right technology layers and right PDK. You can go to options, technology setup, and here you can see in my Python Tutorial-7 library, which is my working library, the reference library is demo kit nonlinear. And also if I go to reference library, you can see it's referring to the right PDK, and everything here is checkmarked. That means I have everything properly configured to now either do a circuit design or the layout design as you intend to do. Now from this point onwards, I will simply create a schematic to place few components from my PDK like transistor, and then I will connect the gate bias supply, drain bias supply, and insert a DC controller and also the parameter sweep controller. Now how to set up parameter sweep, etc., I have already explained in the previous video. In case you haven't seen that, please go ahead and watch that first. So here you can see I'm creating a schematic, opening that design inside my library, and then I'm adding an instance from demo kit nonlinear. Now from this point on, all components, as I have explained in the previous video, follow library cell view format. So it's no difference and then placing a regular ADS library component, or you are placing components from your PDK. So from this point on, it's a pretty straightforward setup, and then I do wiring between the components, and once I execute, you would be able to see a new cell which is created, which is called demo PDK schematic. And at this point, if I open that cell, you can see all the components which I just placed from my Python code. So I have a transistor from my MMIC PDK. I have gate bias, drain bias. I have parameter sweep to sweep the gate voltage, and under DC controller, I am sweeping the drain voltage from 0 to 5 volts in a step of 0.1. And also, while working with typical vendor library components or with PDK, you also need to place this special component called tech include, because then all the circuit model definitions can be found when you execute the simulation using these components. So everything is properly set from the code. Now at this point onwards, the remaining job is to create a netlist and run simulation so that you can produce the data set, which then can be used to plot the data. So here you can see the simple 5-6 lines create the netlist for your schematic that you have created. It runs a simulation, and now the data set is available for your plotting. So next step is simply to use the data set that we have just generated, and then use either a matplotlib or Seaborn to plot your data. As I explained in the last video, Seaborn is a preferred method to do multi-dimensional data plot, and DCIV characteristics is traditionally or by default a multi-dimensional data, because you are sweeping the drain voltage, gate voltage, and then plotting the current curve. So in this case, you can see again, as I explained in the previous video, I'm opening the data set, finding the data block that contains the current of the current probe that I inserted in my schematic, which I named as IDS. And once I find the data block, I am simply going ahead doing a bit of data manipulation, like converting from amperes to milliamperes, and then using Seaborn, which I imported as SNS, to do a line plot to put VDS on x-axis, y-axis is IDS, and the hue or the variable, the outer variable, is VGS, and then I put the proper labeling and so on. So let's go ahead and execute, and now you can see beautiful looking transistor IV curve, which is obtained at various VGS operating point. Now again, from this point on, you can keep extending the code to plot your DC load line, perform certain computation, calculate the load impedance, and proceed with your next steps if you are doing an amplifier design or any kind of circuit design. So that's the content I wanted to cover in this video. Hopefully I've shown you in a pretty clear manner how to add PDKs through Python in your workspace, how to verify that everything is properly set, and then use the components from that PDK to create your design, execute a simulation. And this is first time where we have discussed how to set up a DCIV characteristic simulation. Again, it's no different than what you have been doing so far with the S-parameter controller, but every simulation controller will bring their own unique setup requirements, which if you are already used to in ADS using the normal user interface, it's very easy to script in Python and automate your complete design process so that you can be more productive and utilize your time very wisely to make sure you save enough time for your own innovation and future learning. So that's all in this video. Thanks a lot for staying till the end. As always, feel free to put your comments, and don't forget to like the video and download this script using the description box link, which is available. So thanks again. See you in the next video, and wish you all the best with your design and automation work.